Hello and welcome to this tour of our Pet Nutrition Center. We'd like to show you around the facilities and give you a flavor of some of the groundbreaking nutritional research carried out here. At Hills, we're committed to developing the best nutrition for sick and healthy pets. Nowhere is this commitment more evident than at our Global Pet Nutrition Center. It's here that we pursue our aim of developing and verifying new therapeutic and wellness pet nutrition. The Pet Nutrition Center is the driving force behind our ongoing research and development program and builds on our reputation for innovation. This commitment to innovation began with our founder, veterinarian Mark Morris Sr. In 1928, when veterinarians were still primarily farm animal practitioners, Mark Morris saw a growing need for the improved care of companion animals. This led him to open the Raritan Hospital for Animals in 1929, only the second small animal hospital in the world. Here, he made a remarkable connection, linking insatiable thirst in dogs to kidney disease. This observation eventually led, in 1939, to the development of prescription diet KD, the world's first ever therapeutic pet food. But this was only the start. Over the years, Hills has developed more than 100 precisely formulated foods to meet the specific nutritional needs of pets, including Hills' prescription diet SD, the first nutrition specifically developed for the dissolution of struvite urolith, and prescription diet BD, the first clinically proven nutrition to help in the management of age-related cognitive dysfunction. Our dedication to bringing health and well-being to pets means that our emphasis on innovation will continue into the future.
Innovative products are only valid if they can be backed by sound research and robust data. That's why we were the first company to apply the concept of evidence-based clinical nutrition to the development of pet foods. And that really underpins everything that we do here at Hills. Just as physicians use evidence-based medicine in human practice on which to make their decisions, Hills ensures that extensive scientific studies support the medical and nutritional research we conduct. A vital component of evidence-based clinical nutrition is the clinical trial. Hills products are often investigated using patients in clinical practice in controlled, blinded, randomized studies. Veterinarians first identify and diagnose each patient's health condition, and then evaluate and document the effects of nutrition. At the conclusion of a study, results are published in peer-reviewed journals, providing compelling evidence of the efficacy of Hills foods. An example for such research, published in the Journal of the American Veterinary Medical Association, was a double-blind, controlled clinical study in 45 cats with stages 2 and 3 chronic kidney disease. During this 2-year study, none of the cats fed prescription diet KD feline had a uremic crisis, compared to 26% of cats fed the control food. This shows that KD feline can significantly extend life expectancy and improve quality of life. And that's just one example how a thorough investigation can help veterinarians make evidence-based choices for their treatment regimen. For another example, I'd like to turn to Dr. Frederick Jacob. Frederick Jacob, veterinarian and boarded specialist at the American College of Veterinary Internal Medicine, has investigated the effects of nutrition on canine kidney disease.
What it was shown in that diet was that dogs that were fed the renal diet had a longer uremic-free interval. And in terms of number, dogs that were fed the renal diet had a 20-month uremic-free interval compared to only 8 months in dogs that were fed the maintenance diet. We also looked at the impact of the diet or the relative risk reduction in terms of developing uremic crisis. And it was noted that dogs that were fed the maintenance diet had a 3 times higher risk of developing a uremic crisis compared to dogs that were fed the renal diet. For example, on this graph, what we can see is this is a Kaplan-Meier curve, and what we can see on the y-axis is the cumulative percentage of mortality versus time on the x-axis, and what we can see is this is the dogs that were fed the renal failure diet, and these were the dogs that were fed the maintenance diet. And what we can see is that there's a significant difference between both groups in terms of survival. So for example, the median survival time in those dogs was about 20 months, or a little bit more than 600 days, versus the median survival time in dogs that were fed the maintenance diet was about 8 months, or about 250 days. So there was a significant difference between the two groups.
In 2004, our commitment to innovation was demonstrated further when Hills invested in a new laboratory and research department, specifically to explore the exciting and emerging field of nutrigenomics. Nutrigenomics is the science of how nutrients interact with genes. For a better understanding of what nutrigenomics is really about, it is important to understand that gene expression can actually be turned up or down, just like a dimmer light switch. Many factors can influence the degree to which genes are expressed, such as diseases and nutrients. That's right, food can influence the level at which genes in the body's DNA are transcribed to messenger RNA, and therefore this also influences the level of protein production from this gene. The relevance of this for clinical science is that once we know which genes are differentially expressed in a certain disease, we can try and find which nutrients can potentially normalize this changed gene expression. This is what nutrigenomics is all about. We use so-called heat maps to graphically show gene expression. Each column represents an individual animal and each row an individual gene. The genes in red are the highly active or on genes, and the genes in blue are turned off. This example illustrates the difference between obese and lean dogs. As you can see, fat and lean dogs have some consistent differences in gene expression. The net effects in the obese dogs is that genes involved in the use of fat as an energy source or fat burning are downregulated relative to lean dogs. In a very simplistic sense, you can think about obese dogs as being fat storers and lean dogs as being fat burners. This research led to the precise nutrient combination contained in Hill's prescription diet RD, which is clinically proven to reduce body fat. Moreover, it switches an obese pet's metabolism more to fat burning. The middle panel shows how the right nutrition changes the gene expression in obese dogs to one similar to that of lean dogs. Although, as you can see on this heat map, many genes change their expression as dogs move from being obese to their ideal body condition. There are several genes that are particularly important. These are pyruvate dehydrogenase kinase, or PDK, and carnitine palmitoyl transferase, or CPT. Both of these genes are involved in key biochemical events associated with glucose and fatty acid metabolism. These two genes are downregulated in obese dogs relative to lean dogs, leading to lower fat burning. For the dogs in this weight loss study, we can see that their gene expression profiles, and more importantly, the PDK and CPT, more closely resembled to those of lean dogs than their own expression at the start of the study. And so, not only were these dogs phenotypically lean, which is to say they appeared lean, but they were also metabolically lean, that is, leaner at a molecular level. This is a great example of nutrigenomics, which has led to a product that helps your obese patients change their gene expression from being a fat storer to being a fat burner. Hill's prescription diet JD-Canine was also developed using nutrigenomics principles, working in close collaboration with world-leading experts to help harness the power of precise nutrition. Now, I would like to introduce Professor Innes, who collaborated with Hills, looking into how nutrigenomics could be applied to the area of canine osteoarthritis. He will explain the link between nutrition and mobility in more detail.
I was working at Bristol, collaborating with people at the University of Cardiff, Professor Bruce Cateson and Dr. Chris Little, who are world-renowned experts in cartilage biology. And rather serendipitously at that time was in discussions with Hills about some of their fatty acid work the group in Cardiff had been working on fatty acids in human arthritis. And so it seemed a good idea to investigate that in canine osteoarthritis, and that's where the relationship with Hills took off. The studies that we designed were in vitro-based studies. We're very careful that we want to perform ethical research, and so we developed a model of cartilage degradation, canine cartilage degradation. So that involves taking cartilage from joints from dogs that have died for other reasons naturally, and we can take healthy cartilage from their joints and culture it in the laboratory. We investigated how EPA might be affecting that, and then we did that by looking at the activity of an enzyme called aggrecanase, which is the major enzyme that degrades aggrecan. And we found that EPA was able to block the activity of aggrecanase. When we looked a little deeper into that, we found that it was actually reducing the gene expression of aggrecanase, so switching off that gene expression that we normally see in response to inflammatory cytokines. So the summary of that is that if we incubate cartilage with EPA and get that EPA into the cell membrane, when we come in with an inflammatory stimulus with the cytokines, we don't see the proteoglycan loss that we would normally see. And that's a good thing for cartilage. We're protecting the cartilage from loss of proteoglycan or aggrecan, and if we can do that, then the tissue function and integrity should be preserved. Our results should mean that dogs receiving this diet, EPA in the Hills prescription diet, Canine JD, should be experiencing less pain. That's been shown in clinical trials which were done by Hills. But we would hope, if you translate our in vitro data into the in vivo situation, we should be reducing proteoglycan loss from cartilage. Now, over months and years in a live dog, that would hopefully have beneficial effects and preserve the cartilage. If we preserve cartilage, then dogs hopefully have less pain in the long term and greater mobility.
In summary, Professor Innes found that icosapentaenoic acid could downregulate the genes for aggrecanases, degenerative enzymes involved in the cartilage breakdown. This breakdown of cartilage leads to difficulties in mobility and joint stiffness. With its high concentration of EPA and other nutrients, prescription diet JD Canine is also clinically proven to improve mobility in dogs. The results of the clinical studies in canine patients with osteoarthritis are published in the JAVMA journal in 2010. Some of the key results of these peer-reviewed studies with a food rich in omega-3 fatty acids are an improvement of the arthritic condition in pet dogs as assessed by their owners, and improvement of weight bearing in dogs with osteoarthritis as measured by force plate analysis.
In order to achieve nutrition that's not only precisely balanced, but also acceptable to pets, the Pet Nutrition Center conducts extensive taste tests and feeding behavior studies. However, these studies are only carried out if we have compelling evidence that we can improve the health and welfare of companion animals. It's vitally important work, so we provide surroundings that are fun and stimulating, practicing only responsible and humane treatment of all dogs and cats in our care. Plus, a veterinary clinic located on-site ensures that these pets always get the treatment they deserve. The animals at the Pet Nutrition Center help us develop the most nutritious, best-tasting formulas. The difficulty is that cats and dogs can't tell us why they like a particular food, but they can show us what they like by making food choices. So we've developed state-of-the-art tools to help measure and understand these choices. Specialized techniques identify and isolate key aromas and flavors that affect pet taste preferences. This helps us understand the components of taste on a molecular level. But before pets sample a new formula, our expert human sensory panel characterizes the features of the best tasting ingredients. The resulting data is mapped in such a way that allows us to visualize the taste, then compare it to our proprietary database of pet food preferences. Our eating behavior observation suites are equipped with one-way mirrors providing a controlled environment in which to observe pets' eating behaviors. Sensory science shows us more than just how much pets eat. It can also tell us exactly how pets eat. Dogs and cats approach eating very differently. While dogs consume their food in just 1 or 2 big meals, cats tend to eat several small meals throughout the day. These differences have a profound effect on the way we collect data for each species. It's valuable research that helps us to better understand pet eating behaviors and develop new taste technologies that deliver superior products. In fact, we're so certain that pets will love the taste of Hills. We offer a 100% money-back guarantee on all of our pet foods.
The Pet Nutrition Center also plays a leading role in ensuring that Hills products are made to the highest quality standards. Our technicians develop the highest quality and safety procedures that are applied to our ingredients, manufacturing, and end products. Once the precise balance of nutrients has been identified, we select and source only the highest quality ingredients, with all suppliers having to meet our stringent audit requirements. These ingredients are then analyzed in our on-site chemistry laboratory to check for purity and nutrient content. And for added safety, all Hills products can be tracked by batch or ingredient within 24 hours. And so, if it says Hills on the label, you can be absolutely sure that what is contained in the bag is nutrition of the very highest quality.
Our work at the Pet Nutrition Center is just part of Hills' ongoing commitment to the veterinary profession. We continually seek an open exchange of ideas and feedback to help us provide veterinary professionals with the products, services, and support you need. For instance, the development of useful digital tools, such as the online product catalog and the recommendation software QuickReco, that ultimately help veterinarians provide the best care and support for your patients and clients. We are committed to supporting continuing professional development, educational programs and symposia, as well as sponsoring veterinary charities and working closely with veterinary organizations such as the International Veterinary Students Association, the IVSA, whose past president is Matija Medved.
The school project was also a yield of a long-term partnership between IVSA and Hills, where we've collected 877 textbooks and 730 magazines from different universities throughout USA and shipped just under 1,000 kilograms of knowledge to University of Agriculture and Sciences in Rampur, Nepal. And of course, without the help of Hills, this wouldn't be possible.
From everyone at Hills, thank you for spending this time with us. We appreciate having the opportunity to show you how we endeavour to fulfil our mission of enriching and lengthening the special relationships between people and their pets. That's what it means to us here at Hills to be devoted to pets, and we will continue to lead the way in helping pets everywhere live longer, healthier lives.
And that's just some of the important work conducted here at the Hills Global Pet Nutrition Center. If you'd like to know more or have any comments about Hills, our research, our support programs, or our products, please speak to your Hills representative or visit our website. Thank you so much for your time.